Happy Sunday, guys. So I am up early here at the Walmart pickup to pick up my groceries for the day. I'm sorry I look crazy. My allergies are acting up here in Texas. It's been so bad with hay fever. As you can tell with my eyes, they're just like red. And so I haven't got ready for the day. I just got up and put some clothes on and wanted to come up here and get my order so I can start prepping for today. Hopefully my order, nothing goes wrong. If you guys have checked out my last Sunday prep video, if you haven't, I'll put the link down below. I had some issues with my grocery haul, so hopefully there will be no issues today. So yeah, so I'm just starting my day, starting the vlog off here so I can, say good morning to you guys and let you guys see me in all my gloriness of just waking up. But I like my vlogs to be real, and sometimes I just don't run around put together. I just get up and go. And so I'm here just getting my groceries, and when I get home I will do a quick grocery haul for you guys, probably get ready for the day, and then I will show you what I'm going to do to prep for today. The girls are off tomorrow, but I'm still going to be prepping anyways, and I'll just share with you guys the meals that we're going to have this week and hopefully give you guys some ideas. So yeah, so just come along with me today as I prep for this week. So I am back, and I wanted to show you a quick haul of the things that I picked up this week from my groceries. So over here I got some more bread. I also got some ciabatta rolls to make those Starbucks bacon gouda ciabatta breakfast sandwiches that I shared with you guys in the last prep with me video. I wanted to make some more of those breakfast sandwiches today. And then I also got my girls chips, their favorite chips, and I got mine. Guys, I am obsessed with these chips. Like my daughter, I've never been a chip person, but my daughter, my youngest one, bought it one time, and ever since then I'm like obsessed with that. So these are like my favorite chips. And also I always gotta have sunflower seeds because I'm obsessed with sunflower seeds as well. We need some more ramen. I told you guys we go through ramen a lot. We love it. So I got another box. We got some more eggs. The hubby, this is his guilty pleasure. He loves Oreos and the peanut butter Oreo ones. Got some more bacon. Got my hazelnut creamer, got some more milk. Now in my what to buy now video of things to stock up on, I told you guys that milk can be frozen, which it can, but they have been changing the packaging of milk. So before, all milks used to have like this little circle right here that kind of indented out. So if you froze the milk, it gave it room to expand. And so then you're able to freeze the milk because it had that little circle that pops out whenever the liquid expands. But lately, Great Value, I don't know about the other brands, but lately Great Value's gallon jugs, they don't have that circle anymore. So what I've been finding out is that when we freeze our milk, sometimes it's been busting and causing cuts in it because there's no like circle for it to have room to expand. So if you do purchase milk and you want to freeze it, be careful. Look at the milk jugs. If it doesn't have that circle to where it's able to expand, don't freeze it because you might experience some explosions in the refrigerator or the freezer, because when you thaw it out, it'll start to leak because it's busted because of it's not able to expand. So that was a tip I gave you guys that you could do, but now since they're changing the packaging, it's hard to do. So just make sure you look at the milk jugs if you want to freeze it. I also got this applesauce, the little squeezy packs. I don't know what my girls are obsessed with, like these little squeezy packs. Now all they want to do is have their little applesauce out of these little squeezy packs. But I do get them because they're easy to grab whenever we're going somewhere. If they need a snack on the go, I can give them some type of fruit on the go with that. I also got some wax melts. My favorite lately is this hazelnut cream. I love it. It smells like you're making cookies in the house. They did mess up on my order. They forgot my pickles, but for some reason I had this in my bag. So I don't know how they got confused with the pickle jar or this, but with the Walmart orders, you're able to let them know if they forgot an item, and I've already went through my list and I put that they forgot the pickles and they've already refunded me. So that's the good thing about Walmart pickle. But I do like hazelnut, so I'll just keep that. The good thing is you don't have to return anything back if they made a mistake. So we have that. I didn't order it, but I have that. Hot sauce, because my girls are obsessed with hot sauce. So every time we have chicken, especially my youngest, I got 2 cans of spaghetti sauce, the Hertz kind, and then I got 2 jars of the Alfredo sauce. Like I told you guys in my video, what to buy now when you're prepping, you always want to have a good stockpile in your pantry and freezer at all times, especially during this time with the coronavirus. You never know if the government might shut down again. And this is a good idea whenever you don't have enough money to buy a lot of stuff now. Slowly build your your stockpile. So I knew I was running low on spaghetti sauce and Alfredo sauce, so I bought two each of them, and so that way I'm slowly building my stockpile little by little, like, you know, because I grocery shop once every week. So little by every grocery shop trip a week, I'll buy 2 things of something. So I'm slowly building my stockpile instead of doing one shopping trip where I pick up a bunch of stuff. So that's what I did, and that's a tip for you guys. I got these breakfast sandwiches because even though I'm making the homemade breakfast sandwiches, which are my favorite, my youngest, she also loves these little Great Value ones, and these are just good for her to grab, especially like, you know, before she goes to school, homeschool and stuff like that. When she's tired, she could just quickly grab one of these. She likes the bacon one, but they were out of it, so I got her the sausage. I also got 2 of these wild blueberry muffin mix. I love these better than making them homemade. I just do. I've made homemade muffins before and they're okay, but I just love these. And what I love about this one is that if my girls want to make it, they can make it by themselves and I don't have to help them. And it comes with like the can comes with like fresh berries in it. So it's not like the powder ones that come in a bag where it has like the imitation blueberries. No, these come with like actually fresh berries in a can. So that's why I like it. So it says right here, a can of real blueberries. So it's kind of like you're making them from scratch, but these taste so delicious. They were out for a while and I finally saw that in stock, so I grabbed 2 of them. I grabbed some Pop-Tarts for the kiddos because, you know, kids just love Pop-Tarts, and I always get the Great Value brand. This cookies and cream is kind of like their fake Oreos. And then strawberry for my other one, and that is it for it. And also I think I got everything. Also I got some fruit, which normally I don't let them pick my fruit, but I got some fruit, and I actually think that they did a pretty good job. I was looking at these grapes and I don't see a lot of browning or anything, so they did a pretty good job. This is the first time I let them pick grapes. And then I also got strawberries as well, and again, they look pretty good. And I have them sitting here on my stools because I have to wash them, so I didn't want to put them on my counters yet because, like I told you, I wipe everything down before I put it on my counters, and then this I have to wash them, so I put it here so I can wash them. So that's part of my prep today. You'll see me that I will wash and dry these and put them in little containers and prep them for the week. Okay, so I'm going to jump into my Sunday routine. So first of all, when I get my groceries, the first thing I do is usually I plan in my planner. Sometimes I do it before I pick up my groceries, depending on what time I'm picking my groceries up. But I think I want to jump into just prepping the meals right now because I have some fruit and vegetables that I want to get washed and put away. So, and I want to just get the food knocked out, you know, just get that prep before I start doing stuff in my planner and in my family command center. So for our meal plan this week, tonight we're going to have like a spicy broccoli beef stir fry. I'm actually taking this recipe that I had from the internet a while back, and it's just a spicy beef stir fry, but I'm actually gonna like alter it to the things that I have at home. And I do that normally with my recipes. I just use it as like a base, like a guideline, and then I kind of add or take away things depending on what I have in my pantry and what I have in my home. And so since I have some broccoli that I want to use, I'm gonna make this a spicy beef stir fry, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do it, what I add to it, all about it tonight. And then I'm gonna make some rice in my Instapot. But before I make some rice in my Instapot, I'm actually gonna boil some eggs for this week as well. If you guys have seen in my what to buy now to stock up for your what to buy now to stock up for during this before the COVID shutdown, I talked about how I always have like 3 cartons of eggs on hand in my house, and 1 full carton I always have boiled eggs. So I ran out, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boil some in the Instapot, a whole 18 count carton, boil it up, put it away, and keep it in my refrigerator. So I'm gonna be doing that before I do my rice because I make them both in my Instapot. And then for Monday, we're having an onion turkey meatballs type of recipe over some egg noodles. And the recipe, I got it from this book. And this book, I've had it for a long time. And there's, as you can see, there's a bunch of tags. There's a lot of recipes I want to make. And one of my things for New Year's is I actually want to go through all my cookbooks and actually make, you know, recipes from it. And then if I like it, print them off and then put them in my own binders. So right now I have a cabinet in my kitchen where it has half binders, half cookbooks. Some cookbooks I haven't looked at it for years. And so I really want this year to use my cookbooks, figure out what I like in the recipes, print them out, and then donate these cookbooks or give it to someone else that can use them, because I don't like having a lot of cookbooks and not using them, especially if I do like a meal, I want to refer back to it and find it easier. So what I like to do is whenever I find a recipe that I like I said, I print it, I copy it and put it in a binder, one of my binders, and then I have my binders like labeled like, you know, meats, appetizer, sides, so they're easier to find. So that is one of my goals this year. It's probably gonna be like kind of like a cookbook challenge, but the turkey meatballs that I'm making for tomorrow are from this book. And then Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. We're just gonna have some beef tacos. Last week I showed you how we made the chicken tacos. So tonight we're going to make some ground beef tacos, and that's what we're gonna have Tuesday. Wednesday is breakfast for dinner night. You guys know that's what we do in my house every Wednesday night. Thursday is always leftover night. And then this Friday we're gonna have chicken wings and fries. And if you watched my last video, I know you guys are probably saying you had chicken wings and fries last Friday. But actually we didn't. I had that on the menu plan, but we decided to get Chinese food because I was craving Chinese food. So we didn't make the chicken wings, so I'm gonna make it this Friday. And then for Saturday, we're gonna have barbecue chicken and ranch pasta because I kind of want my husband to use the barbecue grill on Saturday. My youngest daughter said that we haven't barbecued in a long time, so hopefully if the weather's good, we're gonna barbecue some chicken out there next Saturday. So that is the meal plan for this week. And so come along with me as I prep for my week, prep the meals that I need for this week. So whenever I buy fruits and vegetables, I always like to give them a good wash and prep them before I put them in my refrigerator so that they're ready to eat whenever me or my family wants it, because I know that my family and my kids are not going to clean them as well as I do. So I always want to give them a good clean, especially with all the corona stuff going on. So the first thing I do, especially with the grapes, I take all the grapes off the vine. I give them a good little rinse, get all the little dirt or gunk or anything that was on it off of it. Then I take some white vinegar and pour a little bit into a big bowl. And then what I'll do is I'll fill the rest of that bowl up with water, and then I'll take those grapes or whatever fruit that I'm doing or vegetables that I'm doing and put it in that vinegar water mixture and give it a good clean so that it gets all of any germs or any type of stuff that was on those fruits and vegetables, because you never know. And just give it a good clean with the vinegar water and the vinegar in the water. And then I give it another rinse, and then I just lay it out on a towel on my counter so that it can air dry. And then once this is all air dry, then I will set them up in little containers. I used to have these ones from Dollar Tree that I shared with you a while back, but I'm running low on them, so I have to use these little Ziploc containers that I have. They're kind of bigger than what I normally use, but what I do to take the moisture away from the fruit so that they don't get soft and all mushy is I take a paper towel and I put cut it in half, and I put the paper towel within the container of whatever container I'm storing it in, and then I put my fruits and vegetables in that container. And what this does is that any moisture that's left from the fruit from when I air dried it, if there's any left, it will basically, the paper towel will absorb it so that your fruits will always stay crunchy and delicious. And so that's how I store my fruits. So I'm getting ready to boil my eggs in my Instapot, and what I do is I put a cup of water in the pot, and then I just fill it with my eggs on top of it. And it also has the little rack at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but the rack is at the bottom as well. And this is a whole carton of 18 count of eggs that I put in there. And we make it ahead of time, have it in the refrigerator, and it's always there for my girls and me and my husband to eat whenever we want. So I'm just going to put the lid on here. And when you're making your anything in your Instapot, you always want to make sure that your steam, what is that called? The venting thing is always to the back, so it's not venting. And I'm going to put it on, where's that? Pressure cook for 6 minutes. So it's going to pressure cook for 6 minutes, and then I'm going to let it do a slow release. And then once it's done, I put it in a bowl of ice water, and that gives it the shocking process to finish cooking the boiled eggs. And then I put it back in the container, boiled on the container, and then put it in my refrigerator, and I'll have it for the whole week for me and my family. So the beef for the beef stir fry has to sit in a marinade before you cook it, and so I'm preparing the marinade right now. So the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I am doing 2 because I'm doubling this recipe because we love this recipe so much that I'm making doubles of it. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of cornstarch instead of 1. And then you add some rice wine vinegar, and normally you would add 2 tablespoons, but again I am doubling this recipe, so I'm going to put in 4. And I will put the exact link to this recipe down in the description box below so you guys can see it, because like I said, I'm going to alter it a little bit to the things that I have in my house, but I will put the original recipe down below just so you can have it on hand and you can play with it and, you know, add to it or take from it like I am. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a whisk, and I'm going to whisk those two things together until I get, you know, the mixture creamy and smooth. Next, you're supposed to take the beef steaks and slice them up and then put them in the mixture. Now, one tip I will give you guys is I do not use knives to cut up raw meat, you know, raw chicken or raw steak. I use my kitchen shears. Now, kitchen shears, you can get them in the kitchen section at any store. They can buy them, you know, you could buy them separately, or they come whenever you buy a knife set. They always have these kitchen shears that come with it. And guys, this is what I use to cut up steaks and cut up, you know, raw chicken, and it makes it just so much easier. Because whenever I used to use my knives, no matter how I sharpened them, how sharp I sharpened them, whenever I would go to slice them, it would just always be a hassle and it would just hurt my hands. So now I just take my kitchen shears. I have these kitchen shears that are dedicated for just meats, and I just use them to just cut up my steaks and my raw chicken, and they're just like the easiest tool to use. Then you're going to mix the beef and the mixture together with some tongs, and make sure that you get every little bit of that meat coated. You want to make sure that that mixture is on every piece of meat, and then you're going to marinate this for about 15 minutes. But you can actually do this the night before and do it overnight, but it only really needs 15 minutes to marinate. So while the beef is marinating, you can create the sauce that's going to go on the beef stir fry at the end. And for the sauce, you're going to be using the rice wine again, and you're going to use 1 tablespoon of the rice wine. And then you're going to go in with 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. And I just noticed as I'm watching this video, I didn't double the recipe, the ingredients for the sauce. My food still came out good, but I would say that if you're doubling the recipe like I would double all the ingredients. But as I'm watching this video, I noticed that I didn't double the ingredients for the sauce, but it did come out delicious in the end. But I suggest doubling everything if you're going to double the recipe. Now it's time to saute some of the ingredients up in the pan, and this is where I will differ from the recipe, but again, I'll have the recipe down below in case you want to follow it. But you take the sesame oil and you basically coat the bottom of the pan just to add some oil to it. I try not to add too much because I don't want to like overload with the sesame oil, so I basically just pour like a little bit. I kind of eyeball it and then coat the pan, and then I go in with a teaspoon of garlic. That's how much I like. You can add more or less depending on how much you like garlic, but a teaspoon of minced garlic always gives great flavor for me, and it's not too bitter to where my husband doesn't like it because he really doesn't like garlic that much. So I always add a teaspoon of mixed garlic. Then I went in with 1/4 a teaspoon of red pepper flake. Now I like things spicy, so that's why I did 1/4, but you guys can do less or more. And then I did about 1/8 a teaspoon of ground ginger. Again, ginger is one of those kind of not seasonings or spices that it has a strong flavor, so depending on how much you like it, you can add more or less. So if you really like the flavor of it, then you can add 1/4 a teaspoon of it. If you really don't, but you just kind of want that flavor of it but not too strong, I would suggest 1/8 like I did. Same thing with the red pepper flake. If you do not like it too spicy, I would add 1/8 of red pepper flake, 1/8 a teaspoon. But if you're like me who likes spicy, I would add 1/4 a teaspoon of red pepper flake. So this is all, like I said, it goes by how your taste buds are, so you can play with it, play with this recipe how you want. So now I'm going in with the marinated beef. Now that it's been marinated for more than 15 minutes actually, and then you give the garlic and the red pepper flake about a minute to saute up. You don't want to burn the garlic, so that's why I only give it like a minute to kind of saute up into the sesame oil by itself and brown a little bit. You don't want to burn it because burnt garlic tastes horrible, so you want to do it just for a minute, and then you put your beef on top of that, and then you want to layer your beef. You want to get all your beef in it and then kind of spread it out and layer it so that it can get a good sear on all the sides of the beef, because you want that that caramelized texture and taste that you get from beef stir fry. So you want to make sure that you lay out your beef, you know, as much as you can, so that you can get a nice little sear taste on it. Then once the beef is brown on one side, you want to use your tongs and flip them over and make sure that you get them coated and brown on all sides. Once the beef is brown on all sides, you're going to take it and then you're going to put it in the bowl that had the sauce that you created in it. And then you're going to use the pan to saute up any veggies that you want. And that's how I kind of differed from the recipe, because they had some different veggies that they had on hand, but I only had like broccoli, so that's what I'm going to saute up. But you can use any veggies that you have in your house. Now, if your pan is kind of dry like mine was, you can add a little bit more sesame oil to it before you add in your veggies. And like I said, I'm adding broccoli. I thought I should have added the whole bag. I only did a half a bag, but as you can see, it wasn't really that much. Next time I'll add a whole bag of broccoli. But at this point, you can add saute up any veggies that you have on hand. And while the veggies are sauteing in the pan, you can then mix the sauce with your beef and just make sure that you coat all the pieces of beef with that sauce. And as you can see, I didn't double the sauce recipe, but it still came out good. It still gave it good flavor, but I should have doubled the recipe when it came to the sauce, because then it would have been more of a creamier and thicker mixture sauce on my meat. But it still came out very flavorful. Like this sauce that they make, the ingredients that go in it is very flavorful. So it did coat all of the beef that I used, and it tastes so delicious. So you just mix that together while you're sauteing your veggies, and then you will add everything back together. And then this part is optional. If you want to add a little sweetness to your stir fry, you can add some sugar. And it all depends on how much sugar you want to add to it. So you can add a pinch, a teaspoon, a fourth of a teaspoon, however you like. It's really depends on if you want to add some little sweetness to it. I suggest you do add some type of sweetness to it, because I did, and the spiciness and the sweetness put together makes these flavors, I don't know why, but it makes these flavors all come together. So I do suggest, if you're going to add any, even if you don't want a little, not that much sweet, at least add a pinch of sugar, and you'll be surprised on how it brings out the flavors of all the other ingredients that's in this stir fry. And look how delicious this looks, guys, and it tastes even better. And this is one of my family's favorite meals, so I definitely suggest that you guys should try it for your family. So the next meal that I'm prepping is the one that I told you that came from the cookbook, and it's called the onion turkey meatballs. Now guys, I would suggest that if you guys make this, do not use this brand of ground turkey that I used. This was such a soft ground turkey. It was too soft that my meatballs did not hold very well when it came to this turkey. And actually, I suggest that if you're making this recipe, I suggest using beef, because the way that I made it, I kind of changed it on how the cookbook said to do it, because I wanted to make everything go in the oven. So I didn't want to have to make it on the stove top. So I'm going to switch it, how the recipe calls for it, because I wanted to make everything in the oven. So I suggest using ground beef or a stronger turkey brand to make this recipe. So what you're going to do is you're going to need 1 cup of soft breadcrumbs, or any breadcrumbs that you have. And I do suggest, as you guys saw in my last Get Ready With Me for the week video, I didn't have any breadcrumbs on hand. So what I did was I took some bread that I had and I put it in the toaster, and then I put it in the blender, and bam, I had breadcrumbs. So if you don't have breadcrumbs, you can always just use some bread that you have at home, toast it up in the toaster, and then put it in the blender, and you have breadcrumbs. Now this the main ingredient for this recipe is that those onion soup mix. Now you can get the Lipton brand one, but I like my Great Value, so I got the Great Value one. And the recipe in the cookbook, what they asked for is they only use 1 envelope. They put half of the mixture into the meatballs, and then they use the other half to using the sauce, but I like more flavor. So you'll see me put this one packet in the meatball mixture, and then I use another envelope packet for the sauce itself, and I like it like that because it gives it more flavor. And you see that I was breaking up the that I was using the little melon ball scooper to crush the envelope, because it has big chunks of like onions, and I don't like to have that in my mixture. So I kind of like beat the envelope first and then make everything like a crumble and then add it to the mixture. So then those are the only two things that you have to add to the mixture, and then you just use your hands to mix it up, kind of like you would do a meatloaf and any other meatballs. You know, your hands are your best tools, and you just mix it up. But I knew once I was mixing it up with this turkey, this brand was just too soft. I knew that these meatballs were not going to hold up. I could just tell by the texture when I was mixing it. So I suggest, again, if you're making this recipe that I'm sharing with you guys, use ground beef or a better like tougher kind of turkey ground turkey that will hold, you know, that will hold your meatballs well. And so now I'm using the melon baller to shape up my meatballs. If you guys have been watching my videos, you guys know that I always use a melon baller scooper to, you know, make the same size meatballs for all my meatballs. It just gives you the same amount of size, and then I just roll up my meatballs. Now again, I'm switching it up from the recipe. Now normally you would make the meatballs and the recipe will have you fry it up in the pan, you know, brown it on all sides, take it out of the pan, then you make your sauce in the pan, and then you're going to add the meatballs back to that sauce. But because I wanted to make everything in the oven, I kind of like to make meals where I can prep ahead, and always my Monday meals are always like those meals that I want to use the oven, so that I could just prep it the day before and put it in the oven the next day. So I was kind of experimenting today with this recipe, and I decided that I was just going to make all the meatballs, put them in a baking pan, make the sauce on the stove top, and then pour the sauce over these meatballs, and then bake it all together. And it actually came out pretty good. The flavors came out good, but like I said, the ground turkey was not sturdy enough to hold as a meatball, so they did break up once we started eating. Like the meatballs kind of held when you scoop them to serve, but then they did start breaking up once we started eating. So that's the only drawback. So when you're done making all the meatballs, you're going to make the sauce. And for the sauce, you're going to need the leftover packet. Either, like they said, they use the leftover half, but like I told you guys, I use a whole packet. And then you're going to take 2.5 cups of water and put it all together in a saucepan, mix it together, and you're going to bring this to a boil. So while you're waiting for this to come to a boil, you're going to take a half a cup of water and 3 tablespoons of flour and kind of mix it together, because you're making kind of like a thickening agent to thicken up the sauce. So you want to do this separately while the 2.5 cups of water and that extra envelope packet is heating up. Then when the envelope packet and the water come to a boil, you're going to take that flour and water mixture and slowly stir it in and whisk it together, and then just keep whisking it until it becomes thick, and then you'll pour it over the meatballs. The day that I made this, I took it out of the refrigerator and let it come to room temperature on the counter, and then I put it in my oven at 350 until the meatballs were cooked all the way through, served it over some egg noodles, and it came out so delicious. But again, I would suggest to change out the meat so that you can have a better meatball. And then Tuesday's dinner was real simple. I just took this Great Value taco seasoning mix and added it to some ground beef that I had already browned up. And then once it was all cooked and done, I just put it in one of those baking pans just to keep it in my refrigerator, to store it in my refrigerator. So that way, whenever Tuesday came, I can easily take this out of the refrigerator and then either reheat it as we go with the, take pieces out of it and reheat in the microwave. Or if I wanted to reheat it all together for the family, I could just put it straight in the oven and just reheat it. So here I have the taco meat in this one and the meatballs in its sauce, thickening up, ready to go straight in the oven. And this taco meat, I can actually put it in the oven or the microwave depending on how I want to reheat it, because it's actually cooked all the way through, so I don't have to put it in the oven. I could just put it in the microwave. But I have everything set for Monday, well, Monday and Tuesday. And after a day of prepping, now I have to tackle these dishes. So I am done, you guys, prepping for the week, and as you guys can see, I have a bunch of dishes to do, but that's okay, because since I've prepped all my food for the week that I want to prep, all I have to do is do dishes tonight. And so this week, not only am I saving time in the kitchen because I'm not cooking every night, but I'm also saving time when I'm doing dishes because I'm not doing big dishes every night. That takes a lot of time. So prepping on Sundays, my big meals, really helps me out because, like I said, saves time on cooking, saves time on cleaning. So I am set for the week. So just to recap, tonight we had spicy broccoli and beef with rice, and I shared that with you guys. Tomorrow is the onion turkey meatballs that are just going to go straight in the oven. I've already prepped them. And I have Taco Tuesday. I already made the taco meat. It was probably going to be like taco salad, or I always give my family the choice. Like I have the taco chips, we can have taco salad, or like my youngest, she likes to have soft tacos, so I'll have the tortillas. So either or, it's the meat. They can do either what they want with it. You know, Wednesdays for us is breakfast for dinner night. Thursdays is always leftover nights because that's the time that I make sure everything gets out of my refrigerator. Friday we're gonna have chicken wings and fries because it's family movie night and we like to have finger foods. And then this Sunday, hopefully if it's a good day, we're gonna barbecue some chicken on the grill, and then I'm gonna make some, sorry, that's my ice maker, and then I'm gonna make some ranch pasta salad. So I'm all set for the week. I hope I motivated you guys in today's video. I almost didn't make this video today because, like you guys can see, my allergies are like bothering me so badly. And if you live in Texas, you guys know about the cedar and the hay fever. The allergies that we go through here in Texas is horrible, and this past week has just been horrible for me with my allergies, and so my eyes are itchy and everything like that. But I still wanted to prep for this week, and I still wanted to make a video for you guys because I know these videos motivate you guys and give you guys meal ideas, and you know, me helping you guys out helps me out. So I wanted to push through and make this video, which is good because, like I said, I'm set for the week. So leave in the comments down below, what are you guys serving your family this week for dinners, so that you guys can give me some meal ideas and even some breakfast ideas. If you have a certain breakfast that you're making for your family or a certain type of lunch that you're making for your kiddos, let me know in the comments down below because I love learning from you guys as well. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Hey guys, don't forget to click on the picture in the middle of the screen so you can subscribe to my channel and get notifications on all the new videos that I put out, and check out these other 2 videos that I have posted on my channel on either side of my picture. Have a great day.